When I think about games that transcend the medium that they're inherently subscribed to, only a few come to mind. You got the obvious ones, Postal 2, Big Rigs, over-the-road racing, Custer's Revenge. But there's one game in particular that I think really shines through, that really proves how amazing and artistic games can be, and that game is Journey. It's a game that, while still very much a game, also feels like something so much more. It feels like an experience, one that I've never had in any other game I've played before. Everything from its story to its presentation is expertly crafted. No lines of dialogue exist here. You wake up in the middle of the desert, get your bearings, you walk up a hill, and are greeted with this. Visual storytelling at its finest. You already know your goal, your character's purpose. The narrative here is bare bones, but not in a negative or lazy way. The game's pretty much a literal metaphor for life itself. The cycle of life. Birth, rebirth, all the ups and downs one goes through, and it's captured so well. After each stage, you're given a cutscene with the only other real character in the game. Something that looks like you, but in a white robe and about 3 times your height. It's the perfect example of how less can be more. New challenges arrive, but your goal is still in plain sight. That mountain is always fucking there. You're just eyeballing it. It all culminates to one of my favorite endings of all time. I borderline cried after beating this game. It's that emotionally powerful. The game will only take you about 2 hours to complete, but do not let that dissuade you from playing this game or buying it. It's 2 hours that you will never forget in your life. You feel so many emotions by playing this game. They cramp so much in 2 hours. The pacing here is superb. The gameplay is simplistic, but just like the narrative, it's really well handled and fine-tuned. You really only do 2 things in this game. You jump and you chirp. Jump and chirp, man. You jumping and you chirping. That's it. Through exploring the world by jumping and chirping, you learn more about it. There's these little glyphs you can find. Each one lengthens the scarf behind your back. The longer the scarf, the longer you can jump, the longer you can fly around. If you collect all of them, you can go back to the little hub world and transform into a white-robed version of yourself, kind of similar to the one in the cutscene. Oh, that's kind of weird. Wow. It's a nice little reward for those who truly explore the world they're in. There's also these little shrines you can find. Activating those gives you more insight into the world you're in, the lost civilization that used to be. As repetitive as this might look, it really isn't. That's partly due to the game's length, which is really short, but also because of the pacing. No level feels the same, and the animations in this game are just so silky smooth. You almost get into a state of trance. Multiplayer also exists in this game. It's some of the most interesting multiplayer I've ever played. As you're exploring, you might come across another player. There's no text or voice chat. You don't even know the person's name. All you can do to communicate is those chirps. You become attached to this random player because you both share the same goal and you both want to see each other succeed. And it just makes playing the game so much more interesting, so much more fun. You don't really feel like you're doing the same thing in each level, even though you technically are. Again, you only have 2 fucking actions in the game, but because the game's centered around those 2 actions, it makes everything just work. Sometimes I play the game just to show other people secrets. Sometimes I play just to slide around the sand. It can really be that meditative. This game's presentation, as you might have been able to see already if you have fucking eyeballs, is phenomenal. The art style that surrounds this game is just so beautiful. Every single level is just brimming with artistic vision. Each stage has a different feel to them, a different color palette. This is some of the best looking sand I've ever seen in the game too. The way the sun reflects off the sand, sometimes it just looks like glitter. Physics in the game are great too. The way your robe moves with the wind. Sometimes if you chirp loud enough, you can make ripples in the sand. It's little details like that that make the game worth exploring, worth replaying. The soundtrack is literally tied to the gameplay. All the beats, all the highs and lows are incorporated into the soundtrack. They play off one another, which is really awesome. I own this game's soundtrack. That's how good it is, okay? There's not a single point in the game where you will look at something and be like, that doesn't look good. If video games were an art, this is the Mona Lisa. You can stop at any point in this game and just turn the camera and you will have a piece of art. Like, you can take a picture of that and frame it on your fucking wall. Presentation is just an inch above everything else. Everything flows together into something that's truly special. There's times when you'll be playing this game and you will literally be in awe at the situation you're currently in. Woo! Man, this is amazing! play this game. You will not regret it, I promise you. It doesn't matter if it's 2 hours long. I recommend it to anyone who has a heartbeat, anyone who has fingers. Okay, so I know I've recommended pretty much every game on this Days Later section of the channel, but this game I recommend over every other game I've done and will do. It will change your outlook on what games can be, what they should be. It's a game you show to your friends that don't even play video games. Show this game to your dog. Show this game to a fucking goldfish. They would all be like, yeah, this game's a 10 out of 10, masterpiece. So I'm not playing around. If you own a PS4, if you own a PS3, and you don't own this game, I will come to your house. I will strap you to a chair, open your eyeballs, put some headphones on, and force you to play this game. And at the end of everything, you will thank me, because after all that shit, I would have changed your life. Please, for the love of any god you believe in, play this game. So yeah, bye.